Blackbird Night School, Day 35. The hand on the knee and the thought that started the fire. When the doors of Blackbird Night School open, they do not open in an ivory tower. They open in the streets, in bars, in living rooms, in the quiet places where people think nobody is studying them. Because the greatest classrooms are not universities. They are ordinary moments where the truth slips out before anyone can stop it. Tonight's lesson begins at a small table under warm lights, where 4 people sit down, believing they understand the rules of the game. 2 couples, 2 drinks, 2 conversations crossing the table like gentle currents in a quiet river. Nothing unusual is happening. No shouting, no betrayal, no scandal. Just 4 people sitting and talking. But Blackbird Night School is not interested in what happens outside the mind. It studies what happens inside it. And inside the mind, something far more powerful is already moving. A glance. A laugh that lasts half a second too long. A comparison no one speaks aloud. Then it happens. A hand rests lightly on a knee. That is the moment the entire evening changes. But here is the strange part of the story. Nothing actually happened. No vows were broken, no promises were shattered, no lines were crossed in the world anyone could point to. Yet 41 seconds later, a man pushes his chair back and says 2 quiet words. "Excuse me." And just like that, the evening collapses like a tent whose central pole has been pulled from the ground. The mind calls it jealousy. The world calls it conflict. But Blackbird Night School studies something deeper. It studies the thought that started the fire. Because the touch on the knee did not create the reaction. The touch only revealed what was already burning inside the mind. Thoughts had been gathering like storm clouds long before the hand ever landed. Who is she laughing with? Is he better than me? Does she like him more? Am I losing something? None of these questions were spoken aloud, but they were already alive inside the observer. The mind is a projector, and once it begins telling a story, the body eventually believes the movie. So the man stands up and leaves the table. The world thinks the moment that triggered everything was a hand resting on a knee. But that is not the truth. The truth is that ideas do not leave their source. The discomfort did not come from the room. It came from the thoughts being generated inside the mind watching the room. This is why 2 people can experience the same moment in completely different ways. For one person, the touch meant nothing. For another, it meant everything. The event was the same. The meaning was not. Blackbird Night School calls this the mirror lesson. What disturbs the mind is rarely what happens. It is what the mind believes is happening. And once belief enters the scene, reality quickly becomes secondary. So a hand on a knee becomes a threat. A laugh becomes evidence. A stranger becomes competition. And a quiet evening becomes a battlefield built entirely out of imagination. But when everything falls away, the arguments, the explanations, the blame, only one thing remains standing. Truth. The truth is simple and mercilessly clear. Nothing in that room had the power to break a relationship. Only the story inside the mind could do that. And once that story begins, the body eventually obeys it. A chair moves. A man stands. A door opens. And the evening ends not because of what happened at the table, but because of what happened in the mind watching it. That is tonight's lesson at Blackbird Night School. The world believes conflict begins with actions, but the careful observer learns something far more unsettling. The fire always begins with a thought.